I still saw people spraying cash at parties.
Yeah, I think we can't stop that.
Why can't
I
we?
think people cannot be spraying ATM cards.
Oh my gosh. Or just write how much you want to spray on paper and spray it and then transfer it later. Do you think that can work? Let's ask you. Do you believe there was more money for you to spend this year? That's cash at hand.
Right.
This year. Let's check out if the CBN's report is exactly what happened.
I don't have any data to back this up. I mean, they have data. So I'm going to go with them as my personal opinion. I think, apart from their data, Wemimo, I think a lot of people have embraced the cashless policy. I think a lot of people now go everywhere with their cards, and people will be like, people will even be angry if they go into a grocery store and you don't have, POS. They'll be like, you have POS machine. What are you doing here now? Because everybody kind of like now rely on their card. That's my own personal opinion. Maybe that's because of my personal lifestyle. Maybe that's because I've embraced it. But I see others too. I kind of like, even in barber shop, you won't believe it. Barber shops now have POS machines. They have terminal that how much? It depends on the barber shop you patronize. It can be as low as 500 naira to barb your hair, and you see POS. You have options.
POS even pay 500.
I am not kidding you.
Yeah, people should, POS will pay
it's cashless.
500 naira.
So I'm just thinking that their data might just be right. That we have fewer cash in circulation because of that cashless thing. Everybody now has. Most businesses.
But if you still go to the open market, you still spend cash. In fact, I've gone to some shops where I bought goods worth about 80,000 naira here in Lagos. And they told me they don't take transfers. They want it cash. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
You want 80,000 naira in cash?
Wow.
They say, yeah, we just don't understand. We don't want any complications. What complications are you talking about?
That sounds very weird. Like very strange.
I had to go to the ATM to queue up and had to do multiple withdrawals because I needed to buy that stuff. So let's ask you. The CBN said in the first quarter and the third quarters of this year, cash in circulation reduced. That means that there wasn't enough cash to spend. So tell us, if you didn't have cash to spend, was it because you had the money in your account and you were doing transfers, or you just did not have enough money this year? Here are the phone numbers to join us now.
Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
Nigeria Info, we're listening. We're also reading your comments on WhatsApp 08095975805 and on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM.
Let's see if this person has got something for us. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Quadry.
Yes, good morning.
Wemimo.
Good morning.
Happy New Year in advance.
Yes.
Right, we're almost there.
Yeah, almost there. Just less than 48 hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the statistics.
Can you please tell us your name and where you're reaching us from?
Okay. I'm Sunday. I'm calling from.
You are who, Samuel?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday calling on a Monday. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. The statistics just tell that. I think let me say it's for the rich politicians now, because the politicians they're the one using POS and all that in this country. Look at the highest people who are using POS. How many Nigerians are using POS? Out of the population we have, about 400 million population we have in this country. How many people are using POS? If the half of the population is using POS, if the half of the population are using POS, you can now be crediting that the statistics are giving us correct. But look at the rural areas. Go to the rural village. How many people are using POS? It's only in the urban areas where few people who are engaged in jobs, that are using POS. And look at their statistics, they just give us their own side of what they are eating from the other way. So I don't see anything applying to our own. I don't think that statistic is right.
You don't believe the statistics that we have fewer cash in circulation.
Yeah.
That means you people have a lot of money to spend. I mean,
thank you so much. Really, let's get to hear what this person has got to say. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Wemimo.
Good morning.
And Happy New Year in advance to you guys.
Right, thank you.
Did I hear you said CBN said that we have a less cash in the circulation?
Yes.
Why wouldn't there be? When they started introducing different charges on something that will make cashless this thing possible. Now, let me say this for instance. Some people that we likely maybe carry out like a 10 transaction a day by using their card and all the rest. They have been discouraged. So those people have to look for where to get cash and hold it to themselves, so when they want to buy, they can use it. So definitely there will always be scarcity because people have been discouraged from going make use of the POS and the rest.
Right.
Just for example now, I just last week or so, I bought something from the Quadry. So I was told that they have stopped the charging of the POS. But if you get to police station today, now just have one police station, and they are still charging it.
Right.
So definitely, if I will have my way, I'll just go and withdraw cash from any ATM and keep it with me.
Right.
So there will be less circulation. So they cause the problem.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you
right,
very
then.
much. Said it's
All
all
right.
about the CBN. They caused the problem.
When you'll be charging us this, charge us 52 naira, charge us 50 naira, charge us, so people just do one withdrawal, one try, and just hold on to the cash. So there's no cash again for others to spend. That's the explanation you just
And
gave.
sometimes you go to the ATM, someone keeps withdrawing, and you find people grumbling.
God. Okay.
I said, don't finish all the money in the machine. Can
So
we just get
that,
some?
I hear that a lot. And you know what I always say? It's his money.
It's his money.
Yeah.
It's his money.
Let her take it. It's her money.
But I find some banks, especially on Lagos Island,
Right.
at peak periods, they limit how much each person can withdraw.
Oh. Okay.
Crazy, right? Crazy.
Really?
So when I was doing that report at the beginning of the year, that ATM withdrawal limit, I discovered a lot of things. Some of them tell you can only do 40,000 naira. Once you've done 40, please go.
You can't go again.
Just go. The machine can't stop you.
Oh,
but
okay,
they have
okay. There's somebody there.
There's someone there.
That will
because
stop you.
There's a queue. Go. If you like, go and join the queue at the end again. But let the money, let the cash.
I don't think that's right.
No, that's not. Let the cash go around.
No way. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes,
Good morning.
Good morning. Merry Christmas to you.
Same to you.
My name is Abatunde.
Welcome.
I'm calling from BI.
All right, welcome, Babatunde.
So, yes, there will be less money in circulation because of the various charges CBN is charging us. Let me tell you my own story.
Okay.
Because I'm working and my wife is not working. So I have to tell my wife that because of their new tax, this thing they are trying to introduce by the next week, so I have to tell my wife that all our money in our bank account, I have to withdraw it to my own account because she's not working. I'm the one financing the account, so I cannot be paying double taxation. So that's what is happening. Hello.
Okay, we're with you. Sorry about that. So we we had an intruder, and a welcome intruder. Tuji Andrews trying to explain that the cash in circulation might not be the cash in circulation. I've asked him to come.
The physical cash.
To come tell us what that is, but it's run out. But he'll be explaining more to you at 9 o'clock.
Right.
All right, let's see some other things. Now, prior to this report, the third quarter report of the CBN in September 2019, in August, we had a conversation on the Morning Crossfire on Buhari's Forex ban on food importation and value-added tax imposition on online transactions. In September, we also talked about the proposed increase in VAT. FIRS had in August disclosed that it would start charging VAT on online transactions, domestic and international, from January 2019. According to the Minister of Finance, she said, that's Zainab Ahmed, that the VAT increment is aimed at expanding fiscal revenue in the country. Let's stay first with the ban on Forex for importation of food items.
Right.
Milk was one of those items then. I remember we had that conversation then, and Nigerians went, well, we're trying to preserve Forex, but we need milk and we're not producing it. In fact, our cows, I remember we talked about cows then.
Right.
Our cows can't even produce
The way we breed our cows.
and the type of cows we breed.
That means they cannot produce half of what we want.
So we have to import milk. And if you're saying, okay, it's a ban on Forex for milk, that means you can go source for Forex. What would happen is these items will be more expensive because people have to then pay more for Forex. So let's go down that lane again, that memory lane. Ban on Forex for food importation. And some other people argued then that, well, we should stop importing. Let's focus on local production. If we stop giving Forex for importation, maybe we'll then have to buy better cows.
Right.
Help them produce better milk.
Yeah.
Has that happened?
And we had this argument then. We had this conversation then when that issue, came up about even the companies that are producing locally here, they still can't produce it. They still cannot meet the local demand for milk, in Nigeria. And they're being overwhelmed. The ban on Forex actually doesn't mean that importing milk is illegal.
It's not a ban on importation.
Yeah, it's not a ban on importation. It was just a ban that you will not have access to foreign exchange
from the government.
So if you can go source it from anywhere as a company, go source it and bring in your product. It's not a ban on the product itself. It's just that Forex, the federal government needs to put a lid on the outflow of Forex from its coffers. That's what the ban, because then you recall that a lot of people misinterpreted it and said that you cannot ban milk. Why are you banning milk? Are we not going to take our children? Yeah, but that's not what it was. It's not still what it is.
However, a ban on Forex for milk would almost mean a reduction in the importation of milk.
Because how would you be able to source for Forex? The government is direct and the easiest way to get, especially for companies, they need to approach the government, the CBN, to get Forex directly. And it's even cheaper because if you go to the black market, you're going to get it, at higher rate. Did I say black market? Whatever market that you go to.
Anywhere you find it. Anywhere you find it.
It's going to be more expensive.
And the milk would then be more
exactly.
expensive. So but did that change anything? Did milk get more expensive?
Has anything changed? I don't know. Maybe the content. Really, when they say 5 grams, 50 grams, you can't really you
don't
can't
get to weigh it, so you don't know for sure.
Yeah.
So you've been buying milk since this ban on Forex for importation of milk and other products. So do call us in and tell us. Since that time, has anything changed in the milk that you buy? Is it less available? Is it scarce? Is it more expensive? Well, that's our next conversation right now. And if you don't have the phone numbers, again, here they are.
Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
Yes, we are listening. Did milk get more scarce this year because of the ban on Forex?
Okay, I buy milk very regularly, Wemimo.
You must.
Yeah, I must. It's a must.
It's a must.
So, and I cannot say exactly, like I said, I didn't weigh. I didn't get to weigh it. But one thing I do know, it's a common practice, Wemimo. Over time, these products, they get reduced.
You hold the sachet. It's no longer half the sachet. It keeps going 3/4. And you just keep shaking.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
You know, be wondering. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Wemimo, Sheriff. Yeah.
Good morning.
Compliments of the season. Yeah, as you are talking, I'm with my sachet milk with me here.
What's in it?
Babaji. I'm just taking my coffee and my full milk just finished. I send my children to go and buy little sachet. And I can tell you what is inside. There's a reduction anyway. I've noticed it for a long time. But be as it may, if the federal government want to stop CBN, not be giving Forex to people importing milk, I don't know the kind of milk one. They didn't list the names of the milk. I don't need to mention the name of the milk I'm taking here, but I've been taking it for a long time, and it still remains. But the only thing, reduction. Nigeria, even without stopping the CBN on us, Nigeria, we have a way of doing things to reduce everything. But I want to encourage the federal government, please, there is need to diversify the economy. You have to invest heavily on agriculture. Give them model equipment
when they closed the border, we made to understand because of importation of rice, and they are encouraging, local products. I remember during the week, was it the president of agriculture, something, if I remember the name very well, saying they made over 40 billion. It will generate more than 100,000, job or whatever. But in the south here, entire south, southeast, and the southwest, I've never even seen anything like that. If you ask me, you are a journalist, you have to do the investigation. But in the north, maybe true. Yeah, so they should invest heavily on agriculture, closing borders. I don't think it's fashionable, especially this modern world.
All right,
Baba. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. When we had that discussion, I remember very well the issue of ranching came up as well.
Ruga settlement.
And Ruga settlement came up up as well. Like,
and we had a female farmer from something berry.
Dayton.
Yeah, Thistleberry.
Yeah.
Thistleberry. We had her here. Actually.
Right.
We also had people who would be Sipasio Laliko, who
he was here as well.
He was here
Yes,
talking about
yes,
livestock.
Yes.
And we have ranches in the south. Yeah, so ranches are not just in the north.
Right.
And we're talking about maybe if we have the cows in sheltered places.
Don't put them through too much stress. Feed them well.
Feed them
How they're
well.
supposed to feel.
Don't make them walk from the north to
from
the
Lagos
south
to
and
Maiduguri.
you know. And then we had culture, because for some people it's culture to walk up and down. So
it was such an interesting conversation because I'm just remembering right now about what Dayton said about some private ranches that we have, in the south here and are doing well. That if we can have, other private ranches like that where this breed of cows can be bred and make sure that they give quality milk. And it also came up in Dubai. I think the Dubai government imported some amount of cows into the country just because it can be milk sufficient in that country. Hello, good morning to you.
hello.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Everyone, Sherry.
Morning.
Yeah, compliments of the season.
Yes,
That is my name. I'm
Welcome.
calling from Papa.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Interestingly, I actually listened to that program that you had on milk.
Right.
Well, I listen to you guys every day anyway. And
Thank you.
the interesting thing for me is the fact that this is not the first government, that bans this and bans that. Previous governments before, we've had instances where they will ban this, they will ban forex on this or do this or that. But these steps have never solved our problem. And that's because we are not addressing what we should address. For those who listen to that program, your guest actually said it very clearly that was not going to solve the problem of milk. It's not just about stopping forex for milk. What will just happen is people will go and have to source for forex somewhere else,
Right.
and then the price of milk will go.
Absolutely.
What you need to do, and this is what we need to do as a country, government needs to encourage local production. Economics is simple. Basic laws of demand and supply. Once you have local production that is sufficient enough and has good quality, people will go and buy that one with good price. Those who are importing will discover that at the end of the day, you are going to make a lot of loss when you are importing. So what they do is probably they just reduce what they import,
Right.
and that will only be for those who can afford it. These things are, honestly speaking, other countries have solved their problems, for God's sake. Our problems are not beyond solution.
Right.
We only need right-thinking people who are not selfish, people who don't just think about themselves and what they are going to make while they are in office. And that's why we're in this problem, and it keeps continuing. We continue in it over and over
Right,
again.
Kenny.
Another government will come and they will say they ban this, they close border. Yet the problems are still there.
Kenny, thank
The
you.
steps we are taking are not going to solve our problems. We need to take the right steps.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Kenny. Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for calling.
And Kenny has made a very good point. What people look for is price and
Right.
quality.
Right.
If you have local production that gives you good quality and the price is good, you buy that instead of buying the foreign one. But let's see how that has worked in terms of the border closure. It's been very tricky, but we'll talk about this after the break. It's a Money Crossfire 2019 in retrospect, and we're looking at the economy this year, how it has affected you as a person, and how Nigeria has grown over the past 12 months. We're live on Facebook, and it's Nigeria Info 99.3. We're also up on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. WhatsApp number is 08095975805. I will give you the phone numbers again when we return from the break. The Money Crossfire is back shortly. I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
I'm Sheriff Quadry.
Your number one talk news and sports station. This is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff. Your number one talk news and sports station. This is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff.
You're welcome back. We're looking at the economy and how we fared in 2019 in Nigeria. And we're reminding you of all the conversations we had on the economy this year. The biggest ones. We've talked about currency in circulation, cash in circulation. We've also hinted about the increase in VAT, and also we've talked about the ban on forex for milk importation. So many other things happened in 2019, and you can join this conversation because we're doing this with you about the phone numbers, the phone lines. We'll give them to you again in a moment. Twitter is at Nigeria Info FM, and Facebook Nigeria Info 99.3. You can watch us there live and also leave us your comments right now. WhatsApp 08095975805. You're welcome back. I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
I'm Sheriff Quadry. Thank you for staying with us. We have a call coming in right now. But before then, let's also remind us that when you're calling, please turn down the volume of your radio. We don't have the opportunity to have somebody first tell you to turn it down before they pass you to the studio anymore. At least for now. For now.
For now.com. So please turn on your
just
radio.
Turn it down first.
I'll put it off when you're calling.
We'll appreciate that a lot. Hello, good morning.
Oh.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good
Yes,
morning.
Good morning.
I greet everybody in studio.
We greet you too.
My name is Olumuyiwa, calling from Nigeria.
Welcome to the show.
Now, let's look at it this way, economy. You know that this Lagos Lagoon, if they maintain it very well, the fish there can feed the whole of Africa. Now, our leaders, they lock the border. Not because we have goods we want to sell to the neighboring country, but because they don't want neighboring country to bring their goods to the country. Are you think about that? Now, they lock the border because they don't want any goods so that Nigeria can eat from neighboring countries. But they now open the border for human beings to come to Nigeria. The people inside, they don't have food to eat. Now you open the border for human beings to come inside, but lock the border for food to come inside. How will economy grow? In conclusion, I want to add this. With Nigerian rice that I've never eaten maybe all my life, or maybe for the past 30 years, I first went to market to bought it.
Okay.
The stone, I see half holes inside my teeth.
Oh.
Now, yes, first time.
I'm sorry.
I see half 2 holes in my teeth, yeah. Not being so right. Now, when you say you don't want neighboring rice, and the one in Nigeria that they are dancing scale, that they are making money, but people are eating stone. Okay, let me say this. Thank you for giving me a chance.
Thank you. That was quite something. And I mean, now
I would say it's not for all made in Nigeria, right? Because I've eaten them. I still have some in the house, and I can tell you that I've not tasted,
crunched on any.
I've not tasted anything that.
But what I've seen is that
like,
if you want the
stone.
clean rice, it's more expensive. We talked about this during Christmas. There's this bag I just bought. It's 24,000 naira. It's so clean. It's so fine. I was almost arguing that it wasn't local rice, but it's very clean. But how many people can buy for 24,000? So they'd rather buy the ones with the stones and go sort and cook. Now that you brought us to the food matter, we talked about food security earlier on this year on the Morning Crossfire. We asked questions about citizens living below the poverty line and the cost of living soaring every day. We had then on the show Bolawo Olojede, who spoke about what he thought about food security for Nigerians.
Managing the forex, we have a forex issue for any country with a low industrial base like ours. The balance of trade is tilted against us. So we will from time to time struggle with issues of forex and all the rest. That is a reality. But you see, the issue is a bit more complex. Number one, this may be seen as part of the diversification of the economic base strategy. Fantastic idea. We've made some good progress in the rice space, for example. There are still challenges here and there on the rice space. But you see, no country that ever became rich because of primary agricultural products. None. You can't mention one that, these guys were farmers and the country became rich because they produced a lot of primary agricultural products. Where the money is, it's in value add. It's in value add. So our problems are therefore multi-layer. Number one, we are not farming enough. You said we have 30.5 million hectares. When we need right now
78.5.
Our yield is poor. So we're not achieving the level of yield, even for the little portion that we're farming.
Right.
Then when we farm, our losses at harvest, post-harvest losses, is huge. Because modern economic planning is not done in silos. So as the government is thinking of revving up production, it must be thinking of preservation and storage.
Right.
It must be thinking of processing, value addition. Without that, even if you mass produce and you don't have a transport to get what you mass produce to the consumption center, and you don't have electricity to do processing, and you cannot do storage,
you just hit it on the head.
the value added chain is just not there.
It's just
Have
not
we
there.
achieved food security in Nigeria? Is the president correct?
No country in the world has achieved food security.
Sipasi was also in the studio. Let's allow you hear the details of what he said about food security when we talked about the forex ban on food importation and how it might affect Nigerians.
I just feel that we should not just jump into conclusion, in making some certain decisions that affect this food security of our country. An average Holstein Friesian, which is a breed of cattle, foreign cattle, produces about 60 liters of milk per day. I say that again. An average Holstein Friesian, produces about 60 liters of milk per day. Our local white Fulani,
I'm waiting to hear
Sokoto Gudali cattle, which are our indigenous breeds in Nigeria, produces about 2 liters of milk per day.
Wait.
2 liters.
60 liters per day.
Per day.
2 liters.
Yield per day. I'm talking about per day. 2 liters to 60 liters per day. Now, this is not the problem of the country. It is our indigenous breed. And we need to, I think the government should focus on how we can improve our breeds.
Yeah. I feel like Sipasi is right here.
Right.
And I just remember, in other countries, the cows produce about 60 liters of milk per day. In Nigeria, our cows produce 2 liters per day.
Just imagine that. Imagine the difference. 58% short. I mean, that's too much.
That's too much. Bola talks about no country has grown just because they grow more food. But there's a lot involved. Production, processing, preservation.
Right.
For instance, we have tomatoes. And I still find it incredible that at one part of the year, you have so many tomatoes, you don't know what to do with them. At the other side of the year, there are no tomatoes.
You pay through your nose to get tomatoes.
We waste at one half of the year. We don't have enough. The phone lines are buzzing, but let's give you the numbers again for those just joining. Here they are.
Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
Before we head to the phones, let me read some comment from WhatsApp. Kelvin from VI says, fewer cash in circulation simply means that Nigerians are getting poorer. There's little or no residual income. Says as a core member, 19,800 naira was about $100. Today, 30,000 Empower money is just $83. Daniel from Oshodi says the people who spend most of the cash in Nigeria are the upper class. So if they resort to using the POS, then the CBN is right. Over 70% of Nigerians don't even have the money to spend. Michael from Ogun says, I buy milk a lot, but what I notice is that the evaporated milk is now watery milk.
Too much water.
The man says it's too light for consumption. So they balanced out the pricing by adding water. So he says. On Twitter, Emmanuel Hiyeme says economy in 2019 didn't look good at all. We don't have thinkers as leaders. Instead, we have a bunch of self-serving individuals who are bent on helping themselves with the help wealth of all. It says coming to rise. Nigeria doesn't have the capacity to feed herself. You don't close the borders because you want your people to eat your unfit homemade produces. Like the saying goes, you don't force the camel to drink water. Says, funny enough, all those ordering border closure don't even eat made in Nigeria. Joyful Ever says, locked borders when we don't have enough to feed ourselves with. The problem is that border closure is majorly in the south. Says it was in the north a couple of days ago, and it says, wow, poverty is high because people are losing their jobs and income.
Indeed. Let's get to the phone lines now and get your thoughts in. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Nigeria Info.
Yeah, this is from Ijabode.
You're welcome.
Yes, you see, the problem we are having, we are keep on blaming government. But we never think of fixing the right people in the government. When it is election time now, the good ones will go and hide. Then the criminals will come out and seize the government. Whom do we blame? We blame it on them, those who know that they are criminals. That's number one. And our technical schools, they are not working. Where we can produce people that can use their idea to create something on their own to boost the country. Go to technical school, you see that nobody remember there. Nobody want to put the children there. Even polytechnic, where you can do practical things. Nobody likes to send his children to that school. They prefer going to university. You know, university, you do theory, you didn't do practical. We need practical in this country. Go to China. China did not do, they didn't base on their on education to do whatever they want to do. Whatever they know that you can do better, they will push you to it, and they will make sure there's some sponsor you, make you to become great in that that thing you know. So it's not in Nigeria. We keep on keeping on hating ourselves. This is an Igbo man. You cannot allow him to be on top of the production in this factory. This Yoruba man, we didn't want him to be in top of this. So we keep on putting ourselves down. So those who have the strength, they die off with their without their knowledge. Then we keep on complaining every day. So let us stop complaining and come together as one Nigeria and plan the country together. Then push ahead. We make ahead. Then if we cannot do that, then let's do another way that can help everybody. You can separate if we don't want to come together. That is just the thing, because we cannot continue like this. Nothing is working. Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Fantastic points you have made. Let's put those who can do it there.
Right. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Wemimo and Sheriff.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Samuel from Badal.
Welcome, Samuel.
You see, Wemimo, our policy makers, they are jokers. I'm telling you. You don't have something and you are closing everywhere that this will not come in. You are banning forest for this. You are doing this. In Thailand, some few years ago, they have enough rice to the extent that they are paying rice as a school fees for their children. Imagine. We have a lot of land. Someone who has 100 acres of land and is plowing 10 plots. How is it going to be food sufficient? And someone go to Dara and say, we are food sufficient. This a lot of food. People are eating. People are available. We are food secure. Good morning.
Good morning, Samuel.
Well, I have to go check out the paying fees with rice because I never heard it. And it's very true. There's an initiative by a university in Thailand, Rang State University in a suburb of Bangkok, which allows... It came up at the time when the country was suffering from a major surplus of grain that, in effect, it was causing so much losses. They had too much rice, and they were allowed to pay their academic fees in rice. Samuel is absolutely spot on.
Absolutely. Back to your phone lines. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Israel. I'm calling from Agege.
Welcome, Israel.
So my own take in this is the way this country is going. We are just looking at it, and every one of us, because of this, I don't hear our attitude. Like what the previous caller said, the right people are not giving chance there. Who then is the right person? Because if you look at Nigeria, it's just like 2% out of 100% that are the right people there. And once they get to that place, they now use the attitude that if you cannot win them, join them. Because you cannot, when the 2% is trying to be good, the 98% are the ones. So how are you going to? That's just the problem. Well, we will just be looking, However they want it to be, no problem. We are there.
Israel, let's not be looking. Let's do something.
Right. It raises the same points about allowing the right people who can fix these issues be there. While we were talking about food issues, we also had Adewuni Olaniyan with us on the show then. She's from Thistleberry Farms, and she also spoke about food security. Here's what she said.
For me, the ban is not in the ban. It's in what goes into the ban. what exactly is being banned? I don't want to look at the semantics. I don't want to look at the sentimental aspect, the emotional aspect. I want us to look at what opportunities lies in for primary producers, for processing, for value addition, for all the value chains, the economic diversification, the opportunities for the youth, for the creative industry in agriculture, for the innovations that can come in. That is the excitement in it for me. It means that we can focus.
I remember that she was very excited about the closure, the ban then. I've not spoken to her about how excited she is about this border closure.
Right.
But she thought then that banning importation of these items, of these foreign items, would help local production.
Yeah.
Now, before the break, I said the rice matter, for instance, is very dicey. So we've seen a larger production of local rice since the closure of the border. Now we have local rice everywhere. I want to believe that maybe with time, the prices would also begin to compete and the prices might fall.
I think things will stabilize with time. I think also that we'll be able to see more investment in that space. I think it's just a matter of being patient and allow that sector to grow naturally, because it will eventually. The demand is there, no doubt about it. One thing, though, is that we should completely, if we're stopping importation of foreign rice, we should completely put a stop to it, so investors can have confidence in saying that if we put our money down and get a destoner machine to come in and destone our rice, our paddy rice, then we can be sure that the market is there. We can be sure that nobody will smuggle rice in and, jeopardize our investments.
So question is, should we keep the border closed since we already see that there's increase in production of rice? For instance, we're looking at that as an item. Suddenly it looks like rice is the only thing we eat in this country.
Oh, well, it looks like it. It looks like it.
We've been talking about rice for months now.
Rice.
But with the border closure, do you agree that there has been increase in local production and farmers now have better markets and they're making more money? And we're seeing competition. Like I said, I've seen rice that's totally so clean.
Right.
I don't even need to parboil it.
Right.
So do tell me, should we keep the border closed? If we don't, how do we sustain this continued local production of rice? The phone lines are yours.
And they're buzzing all morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes,
Morning.
good morning.
This is Mr. Bishop from my papa.
Welcome.
You know what, Wemimo, you don't need to ask this question with your level of knowledge.
Okay.
It is 0.000 flawed to say we don't need to close our borders. In fact, if you close your borders for 72 hours, you are discouraging the would-be investors that they don't know exactly your policy direction. So this is it. We have heavy leadership deficit in here. That is exactly our problem, not even the masses. And the problem is this. Count how many stations now, like in Lagos and most other areas, that do allow these phone-in programs. Many of them, if you see, many of them have been cast into one corner by the powers that be.
I don't agree.
And we need a government that can open up the space, even the media space. Just like Mr. Jonathan, when we were saying he was a bit whatever, he opened the FYO bill. But now we thought when the results were really in 2015, I said maybe I did not support him 100%, but then maybe this is the way God wants to open up this thing. But when he came in,
let me ask you. Let's stay with the question. Yes. Since the border closure, do you agree that there has been an increase in local production of rice?
There is, when the foreign this thing is not available. In fact, my brother self, I bought one recent. Since then I've not wanted to be buying the bag. I go for quarter or half. The one I bought recent is a bit. But then, have you quantified what you have lost in the ones going out and our people bringing in more?
No, I don't understand. I don't understand what you mean by the ones going out. What do you mean by the ones going out?
There are so many people exporting raw materials from Nigeria from the border.
Yes.
There are people making production, employing at least 5 to 20 people, bringing in raw material from the border also.
Yes.
So all those things have been discontinued.
I want to know people less than 50 years. They don't have to.
Hold on. Let's not drag this. So my question is: the land borders are closed for now, and the federal government is saying if you want to take anything outside of the country, use the ports. Is that not an option?
And the customs have recorded increase also.
You know what? If you have been to Apapa, you know that taking containerizing anything and go to Apapa, if it's raw material that is a bit that cannot take much time, it will just mess up. It will just mess up. In fact, let me give you another place we have. Let me digress a bit and give you another place where we have a mega advantage in oil and gas. Wemimo, have you asked question as a media person? The template of this subsidy, it was the same subsidy that was being used when Desani was here. If you go to that very template, you see transport margin, you see all sorts of financial investments all here and there. It will show you that we have heavily interest people in governance space. And we don't need that now. If this place can make it even 2 or 3% growth in the economy,
thank you.
We have virtually wrong people in government.
Thank you so much.
That's such a passionate comment.
I'm not going to discountenance what he said, and I'm not going to say that. I mean, he made you know, because you can't totally shut your doors to the world. It's not done anywhere. You can't completely do that, and I'm not sure. Because, you know, I wasn't saying that I'm sure that, you know, we'll open up the borders, but
the government just said we're not even sure we're opening in January.
Exactly.
So here's a question, okay? Let's set the scenario properly. And the comments are also pouring in on WhatsApp. So, since the border closure, have you noticed that there's increase in local production of rice? We're staying with rice. So, we don't want our border to remain shut. So, how do we protect these farmers who have now suddenly enjoyed boosting their production and the market? Once the border is open, again, we might have the issue of smuggling come back, and it might again affect these farmers. So what solutions do you propose?
Remember, we had our reporter followed the minister, the federal government delegation, Solomon Indahi, you know, round some rice millers and some border towns as well. And he reported, we had him on this show, on this program, and he reported that some of the, you know, rice millers that they visited, they were actually overwhelmed by the demand for rice in this country.
They're producing more.
The revenue has increased for them. They've employed more people. Most of them over 100% in their workforce, you know, have been increased since the closure of this border. So we can't totally say that it's negative, and we can't completely say
we don't want the border
positive as well.
It doesn't make any sense for it to be permanently shut.
Exactly.
But once we open the border, what happens to these farmers? What solutions do you propose so that we don't go back to where we were before the border closure? That is a question. What's the solution that you propose? Let me read some comment from WhatsApp before we go to the lines that are buzzing. So this is no name. Okay, but I believe it's from Chinedu from Udimota, who says government easily implement policies that target the average Nigerians. They are so fast to close the border because of rice, but they're not talking about stopping medical and educational tourism, which favors them. We also have a comment from No Name. Says, I think people should report the brand of rice with stones to NAFDAC and SON to help them improve on the quality. I would feel like giving you a shekere for that one. Absolutely, I approve. Prince Will says, good morning. Most times our government make policies that favor few corrupt security personnel. Says, for instance, people still bring in products from the said closed borders, but the legal custom charges have increased. Raphael Adegoke says, oh, someone shared this with me. Says, have you seen the production dates on this Nigerian rice? He shared a photo. The production date on this bag of rice is November 2020. We're not even done with 2019. Production date, November 2020, best before November 2023. I saw it. And this, like one of the comments said, you should report things like this. Alex Agbo from Aja says, Nigeria and its policy blindness. You can't have borders closed before beginning to produce. It has never worked anywhere.
Let's get to the phone lines. All our lines are blinking, so please make it short and straight to the point. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from, please?
My name is Tony. I'm calling from Ikea.
Welcome
Compliment
to-
all the citizens.
Which is same.
Hello, sir. Can you please tell our audience the borders are not closed because of rice?
Abi.
The borders of Nigeria, land borders of Nigeria, are not closed for crying out loud because of rice.
We like rice, me.
Why? Because
because it's a staple food now. Happy New Year, sir.
King Graf from Eleko says, refine our local rice to meet up with world standard, then you can open our border. That's his solution.
Right. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Gabriel, calling from
Where are all the ladies? For goodness sake. Welcome, Gabriel.
They are still on holidays. Yeah. My observation, I just go out to eat my local food. There's a woman, like 6 people cook in our line, our street, in Ikoyi here, close to our land. There's a commercial area.
Okay.
One of the ladies, he cook from house come. I just wash every one of them. People will gather there and wait for the woman to bring his food to sell along the road.
Okay.
I was wondering yesterday, it was only him who used to come and eat from the woman place. I observed he cooked foreign rice.
Okay.
Today, people wait for the woman to bring his food out. The people even in a shop, they put it there. Only people sell. Today I went out. I went and eat for my normal customer. I'm not able to wait for the woman between that 7:30.
Okay.
I ate my usual place. Coming back, people, the crowd are already waiting for the woman.
Wow.
Only out of the 6 food sellers, they only sell foreign rice.
Wow.
He had a very big advantage over people selling Nigeria rice. And know that foreign rice in Lagos. So the main of the table ourselves. Except you move down to even in the I just come back from Beria. We bought foreign rice. We bought local rice for our Beria. Lagos they have
How
a
much
lot
did you
of.
buy? How much did you buy the bag of foreign rice for?
We give women money. I don't really know because of the Beria. I don't really know how much they bought all these things.
Thank you.
Very soon they will have the people say foreign rice will have advantage. Mostly in a restaurant. It's affecting the people cooking Nigeria rice. People don't like to eat Nigeria rice.
Right.
You will just watch and see 2020.
Right.
Yeah, thanks.
Right. Thank you so much for calling. Appreciate it.
We have a comments from Facebook. Debian Thomas says, why should local rice be expensive? Big question. He also says, you know what? Nigerians are tired. Everyday bad news. The rulers are just there for themselves. Anton Prince Brain says, good morning and countdown to January 1st. That's right. On Twitter, Ms. Hauser is asking why we're not streaming live. We are streaming
I'm
live.
looking at us right now. We are live.
Like we're looking at us. We are live on Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3.
Yeah, that's right. Moving on to the calls now. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Please, before the closure of borders, how much was the foreign bag of foreign rice?
About 18,000.
I think it was about 18. That's right.
Now, how much is local rice?
The best
About
one is 24.
24. And this is the country that cannot afford to pay 30,000 minimum wage. Where is it? They say, okay, fine, the local producers are making more money. Where is this money coming from? From those that don't even have to feed in the first place, in the first instance. We have to do something about this because rice is staple food in Nigeria. Something else should begin to happen. Because in some countries, when there is increase in bread, people come to the streets.
That's right.
A time will come, Nigerians will not be able to sacrifice to buy rice anymore, and I pray nothing happens.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you for the
calling.
comment. Let's take some comment from WhatsApp on our way out. King Ra from Meleko says, oh yeah, I read that. Said to refine our local rice to meet up with the world standard before we open the border. Calvin from Shasha says, no one says the border should be closed forever. All we're saying is bringing our neighbors to strictly adhere to the ECOWAS treaties that they're all signatories to.
Right.
That's to completely eradicate smuggling. That's all. But we've not taken them to the ECOWAS court. So also a final one. Gochiku from Aja says, good morning, Wemimo and team. Please, land border shouldn't be a major priority. Gas flaring should attract our investment to generate power for Nigeria's industrialization. Fantastic comment. And that's one of the reasons local rice is expensive. Production is expensive. They have to source for the electricity. Transportation is costly with the bad roads. That's why it's more expensive. And imagine bringing rice all the way from Thailand and it's cheaper than rice produced in Nigeria.
It's just weird and unbelievable.
Weird, but that's where we are. The phone lines are still buzzing, but we need to go. We're back tomorrow looking at another interesting topic. topic from 2019. You can keep talking to us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. I'm Wemimo Adewuni. I'd like to see you tomorrow morning from 6 a.m.
I'm Sheriff Quadry. Have a beautiful holiday.